next, exclusively on 97.5 and 1240 KFH.
Jim Rome here with your Rome Report. In the least surprising development in sports history, the Dallas Mavericks have fired general manager Nico Harrison after he made arguably the most disastrous trade in NBA history. This was inevitable considering Harrison traded Luka Doncic, future Hall of Famer in his prime, one of the most popular players in franchise history, a guy who led them to the NBA Finals only months earlier and never wanted to leave. And for what? Because he was, quote, fat? And what they get in return? Nothing close to equal value. Of course, once he got over the shock, Luka got shredded and is now playing out of his mind here in LA while the Mavericks are circling the drain in the Western Conference. And even after that catastrophic trade, the basketball gods threw Nico the ultimate lifeline when the Mavs won the NBA lottery with just a 1.8% chance to select Cooper Flagg. But even that couldn't save Nico. Nothing could. Solid dude. Worst trade ever. I'm Jim Rome. The hard-hitting football action is even better with Prize Picks. The weather might be changing, but the feeling of being right never gets old. So don't miss any of the action this season with Prize Picks, where it's good to be right. Download the Prize Picks app today. Use the code ROME and get a $50 bonus credit instantly in lineups when you play $5. That's code ROME on Prize Picks to get a $50 bonus credit instantly in lineups when you play $5. Win or lose, you'll get $50 bonus credit in lineups just for playing. It's guaranteed. Prize Picks, it's good to be right. You do have to be present in certain states. Visit prizepicks.com for restrictions and details.
On the battlefield, there's a saying America's military men and women live by. Never leave a fallen warrior behind, ever. Off the battlefield, Wounded Warrior Project operates with the same goal. Wounded Warrior Project was created to help our men and women returning home with the scars of war, whether those scars are physical or mental. Wounded Warrior Project. We never leave a fallen warrior behind, ever. Learn more about what we do at woundedwarriorproject.org.
Now, from Wichita's most listened to sports radio, 97.5 and 1240 KFH, this is Sports Daily.
Aloha, Mr. Hyde.
And welcome in to a Hawaiian Shirt Wednesday here on Sports Daily. Glad to have you with us. Jacob Albrock, TJ Cleveland. It is hump day, and we are glad that you are here to get through the middle part of your week. It is a day after a KU basketball game that provides plenty of conversation. We will do that as they beat A&M Corpus Christi without their star freshman last night. We'll get into it here. We'll get into it with Shreyas Laddha in the next hour, our KU insider. Talk a little KU football as well. We'll get you ready for Chiefs Broncos, begin to preview that big AFC West clash coming up. Look around the big villain in sports the last couple of years. Nico Harrison is out in Dallas. There's that topic and lots more to get to. We've got giveaways galore today for you. A lot of text to win contests, so make sure you're paying attention there as we'll get you that information. It's all what's on tap, brought to you by the Wichita Brewing Company, now featuring the Cooperstown Pizza, with a sriracha cream cheese base and topped with chicken, bacon, mushrooms, and mozzarella. The Cooperstown, now available in a lunch or full size at Wichita Brewing Company. Pizza and beer made here. DJ, the Royals make a massive trade for a pitcher you've never heard of. It does remind us we're getting kind of close to those winter meetings here. The Royals are going to do something big this offseason. Count on it. But it ain't that. Welcome.
Yeah. You almost had me there. I actually thought they did make a trade for somebody I knew the way you brought that up. But I think I've seen 3 moves so far for guys that I don't really know who they are or what they've done.
Don't feel bad about that. They haven't. I laughed. I was like, we better have an ear out. The Mason Black trade is not one to move the needle, but they will be doing something. Oh my goodness. Breaking news, TJ, this morning. Jameis Winston is going to start a football game in 2025. Let's go. Starting for the Giants. Breaking news off the top. Everybody's favorite quarterback getting in there and get ready for some fireworks in New York as famous Jameis getting another chance. Here we go. Boy, how are you this morning? What's
well rested, let me tell you. I got up. I didn't wake up early yesterday. I went to bed early last night. Here we are. This must be what morning people feel like.
Yeah. Look, I'm getting it. You get used to it. It's funny for me. I'm like, oh man, that's so early. And in reality, I would have to be up. If we didn't do this, I'd be up 15 minutes later max to get the kids ready for school. So it really is just a state of mind. For me, it's not so much getting up early, it's going to bed a little earlier.
Yep.
If I'm in bed before 11, it's been a victory for the day. And that is coming from a night owl. I spent 20 years on the shift that you work. 20 years. Basically, I went from college, where of course you don't go to bed early, straight into a morning shift for about 3 months. That was a nightmare. And then after that, 20 years of what we call in the TV business night side shift, which means you work till after the 10 o'clock news.
Yep.
And it's been a hard habit to break, but we're getting there. We're glad to be up early with you. Glad to have our Prairie Fire coffee keeping us fueled up this morning. Another bit of news. It's news to me. I didn't see it until this morning. I guess the YouTube TV ESPN dispute is not so much a YouTube TV ESPN dispute as much as it is a YouTube TV ABC dispute. There was a report earlier in the week that YouTube TV wanted lower prices than their peers for the Disney stuff, which kind of tells you and makes you worried, like, oh no, this is going to last a really long time. Now there's that came from like media insider reports. YouTube TV, though, they want to do it over time. I guess the dispute says it's ABC that is become the problem. I don't know what programming on ABC besides Monday Night Football that it would be an issue. This reporting says that Disney loses about $5 million a day that it doesn't have YouTube TV, which everyone, and I've thought about that. Look, everyone's worried about like how much money YouTube TV is losing. YouTube TV is owned by Google. They'll be okay. Disney's losing a ton of money and a ton of viewers, which is not good for a company that's more interested in the number of viewers. But the dispute continues. You broke the trend though. You caved.
I did cave. If I finally paid the mouse, I got the ESPN Unlimited, so I could finally watch the games because I was losing my mind at this point. But I'm disgusted with myself. No, I'm just kidding. I don't know when it's gonna end. I had to give in. I'm sorry. I'm a weak man.
Called in scab in the union world. You're a scab. No offense to our union friends for my lack of knowledge of that. I don't want to do that. And you did it for a game that was awful. That's what really sucks.
That's
for
the
you.
best part. That's the best part. No, I can't lie. I was looking at it. I forgot that the ESPN Unlimited is now where Red Zone lives. So that's how you can get the Red Zone outside of getting.
Whoa!
You can get it on your on YouTube TV too, as the extra add-on, I believe. But if you can,
that's the only reason I have YouTube TV.
You can get the ESPN Unlimited, and you can get Red Zone through that. And so, looking at
sure
that, I
about
was
that?
like, yes. Because that was the big thing, is that ESPN bought it and they added ads, and that was everybody lost their minds about that. And so Red Zone is owned by ESPN. It's not owned by.
Oh, so that's even more. But now you're talking about $40 for this. $39.99 to get the Red Zone in there.
Okay, well maybe I don't have that. I guess I don't know.
I didn't. I kind of remember that. Maybe I don't realize they did it. I would have to. Boy, I'd have to really think about that. But the problem there is K-State tomorrow night's playing on CBS Sports Network.
Yeah, I know.
And you're not going to get
It's
that
not,
if you
it's
just
not,
have the
it's
ESPN.
not, yeah, it's not a replacement for streaming or cable. Like, it's a Band-Aid for me. I can't do it. For like,
now,
I would.
Can you just cancel it anytime you want to?
Yeah, it's monthly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what? This makes it. This all stems from them kind of buying the NFL Network, right? That makes sense. Actually.
Yeah. That's what it was. Yeah. It's a Band-Aid fix. I can't do it without, like, I can't go without CBS and Fox and the CBS.
Well,
Sports
I tried to
Network
watch
and
through the
FS1.
antenna, and that didn't work out great for me.
Yeah.
The antenna's got to be on the right side of the house. The TV's got to be in the right spot, like all that stuff, which sucks because we both work in local TV. I'd love for everybody to just easily get antenna signal, but it's not. You can do it. You just have to work for it a little bit. We'll see what happens. It'll end eventually, I think. I don't think this is a forever thing. And for me, it's basically, do I give up? Would I rather have Monday Night Football or would I rather have Red Zone channel? And I choose Red Zone. So I'm going to hold on and hang tight for a minute. Now, if you tell me that Hulu TV, whatever, can get me in the door there for Red Zone channel, I might make a different decision. Because
I'm just trying to support fellow sports reporters and sports anchors like us. I'm just trying to make Scott Van Pelt get his Christmas bonus this year.
Yeah, our broke asses that they're just like, just give me some games. Like, we don't ask for much in this. Just give us our games. And leave us alone, please. But that's the latest here this morning. Who knows how much longer it'll last? It's a mess. All right, we will come back. Let's talk about that KU game last night. We're stalling to get into it until we have more time because it's a pretty hot topic here this morning. The absence of Darren Peterson. We're coming right back. It's all Brockton, Cleveland. Don't go away.
Lightning, hail, tornadoes, flooding. It's the worst of severe weather, and it's coming. Spring brings warmer temperatures, but also dangerous weather conditions. Stay up to date day or night with the Storm Team 12 weather app. You'll get accurate forecasts, so you can plan ahead and stay safe, no matter the weather. Download the Storm Team 12 weather app, brought to you by Stutzman's Greenhouse.
The future of television has arrived. Next Gen TV is here with stunning video, movie theater quality sound, enhanced voice clarity, and interactive features, all upgradable for the future. Learn more at watchnextgentv.com.
Canvas of our imagination. They tell a story. Clouds affect the events of your day. Sometimes they growl, sometimes they inspire, but they're always the messengers of nature's mood written in the sky. Storm Team 12 understands the language of clouds. We're dedicated to decoding their message so you know what to expect. Behind every cloud, there is a story waiting to be told. Trust Ross Jansen and Storm Team 12, alerting you first to the impact on your life.
We are following a breaking update.
Every day, all day, stream the stories that have you talking near and far.
Whoever is behind the wheel of this bus is not stopping.
From hundreds of local reporters and meteorologists spanning the country.
Chaos here this morning at the UW campus.
Search LNL for the all-new Local News Live streaming app.
Odyssey is one of the most influential audio and entertainment brands in the nation. You already know Odyssey's iconic local radio brands in Wichita. But did you know Odyssey has the country's best collection of music, news, and sports brands? Odyssey is also a premium podcast creator, major event producer, and digital innovator. Odyssey brings people together across the country and right here in Wichita. Odyssey also delivers meaningful radio and digital audio results. Find out our story and impact at odysseyinc.com/Wichita.
Make yourself known now.
831001 in traffic pursuit.
Oh my God, here.
Investigate TV Plus begins with real people.
We investigate stories that impact you.
And inspire change every day.
Something is broken.
Real problems.
Why are they hiding it?
And real solutions.
My daughter was dying in front of me.
What was your reaction when he said that?
Investigate TV Plus, weekdays at 3:30 p.m. on KWCH.
Sometimes people tell us, I don't get it, it's just tea. But let me tell you, we are so much more than just tea. With 20 plus flavors of sweet and unsweet iced tea, the possibilities are endless. Come on in and try them all for free to find your favorite or get us on the go for your busy lifestyle. And don't miss happy hour every day. So the next time someone tells you it's just tea, tell them to come by and find out why we say drink tea, be happy.
Jim Rome here, lighting up your afternoons on The Jim Rome Show. Catch me starting at 2 on Wichita's #1 sports radio, Kansas Fan Headquarters, 97.5 and 1240 KFH.
Mornings are busy. We're here to make your mornings better. We report the stories that affect you.
3 more hospitalized from contaminated apple juice just a day after the FDA issued a recall.
We're here to make your mornings better.
Closing east and westbound lanes of K96 for repairs.
With 12 News, you're prepared for your whole day.
Scattered thunderstorms across the state into the afternoon.
Stay a step ahead with 12 News this morning on KWCH and KSCW.
It's 9/12/40.
Time to get busy.
This is Sports Daily on KFH.
All right, welcome in, everybody. Glad to have you here with us here on Sports Daily. It is Jacob Albrocht and TJ Cleveland. It is the holiday season, and we have the Odyssey Holiday Hookup now through Friday, November 21st. Odyssey taking care of the food and fun this Thanksgiving. You can win a full holiday feast and Thunder tickets for the whole family. Smoked turkey, ham, all the sides. From Hog Wild Pit Barbecue, $200 in value, and 10 tickets to the Wichita Thunder's Star Wars night on November 29th. Enter by texting THANKS to the number 20357. Message and data rates apply. We come back in on the heels of KU getting a big win over Texas A&M Corpus Christi, a 31-point win, 77-46. They flex on a team they ought to flex on. They get it all done. But the story of this game, TJ, is the absence of Darren Peterson. And we'll get into the things they did without him. But apologies to everybody else. Like, that's the story here. What is going on with this young guy who is having some issues now? A hamstring, we're told after the game last night, getting on and staying on the court here.
Yeah, it brings up conversations that are uncomfortable to have whenever you have a potential #1 player in the country. And I think that the biggest factor that'll probably tie into all of it that, is the, turn the blind eye to a little bit is that, I don't want to say that. I'll say that the most precautionary thing, because he is the potential #1 pick. And I think that that's a him decision. I think that that might be a Bill Self decision of like, okay, there's a little bit of discomfort going on. You could probably play, but we're playing Corpus Christi. Like, we're not going to. And I think that if it was a different situation, like if that happened to Cole Rosario, he'd probably play through it. If you're Darren Peterson, though, I think that you've got a lot more to, potentially be careful for. And I think that that may be something where it's like, and it's probably not the right thing, but I think that they're just being extra cautious right now. And that's kind of what Bill Self said after the game.
I think, and to be fair to it, and I have not listened yet to Bill Self's post-game commentary. I'll do that later today. There's also the fact of KU ain't doing anything without him this year either. So I don't know if it's, it's not probably necessary yet to say it's because he's got an NBA future. It's probably equally because KU doesn't have much of a future if he's not 100% by the time it matters either. So they can go hand in hand, and Bill Self is going to have to navigate as he continues to want to try to, bring in players of this stature. Like, we will also respect right? As you come here. And look, the reality is this is the type of player who could never play a game of college basketball, and he's going to be the number 1 overall pick.
That's the thing.
So
everybody kind of, holds their breath a little bit about, like, is this a Michael Porter Jr. situation to where we finally land the big fish, and then it's like, well, he's hurt and he's still going to be a lottery pick, and now he's gone.
Yeah, I think it's too early for that, and I don't think we've seen, and we'll talk to Shreyas Laddha about this, who's much closer to the situation on a day-to-day basis. I do think Bill Self has to be careful and respect that if you want it. That this is a unique year. It's not, to me, so much that they landed the big fish finally. They did. It's as much or more that KU has so much riding on him singularly, which is unique and unusual for a KU basketball team, right? KU is not new to star freshmen. They're newer to star freshmen being immediately the second they step on campus, the key to everything of their season. That's not normal for KU, right? He might mix in with a bunch of older players and all those things. These are all circumstances born in having the kind of returning players for 2 straight years that KU had. It just didn't leave a lot of room for any other development or anything else. And this is, a long way to get to it, but this is a repercussion of that, right? Like, this is a reaction to, there's really nobody else on this team as far as for KU that has much experience. All the experience walked out the door because they had the same team for basically 3 years. Yep. And so now, okay, a lot of guys are going to have to step it up into new roles. Hope that Darren Peterson is the catalyst, because he is that kind of dude. I think both of these things are true. We are overreacting, and it is the appropriate reaction. Yeah. And I know that doesn't make a lot of sense, but I think it's appropriate to overreact to this because everything rides on this kid for KU.
Yeah, every time he misses the game, it's going to be a reaction like this. Last night, this is what Bill Self said. These are his comments that are in the ESPN article from his press conference. He said, "It's frustrating for him, I'm sure, and it's frustrating as a coach too, because we don't know from day to day how he's going to be. It's a long season, guys, and he's too valuable to put out there and create a situation out of something that shouldn't be a situation."
I think that's honest.
So that's him saying, like, he's not that hurt, but he's just hurt enough where we don't want to make him more hurt.
He's hurt enough, and we're smart enough to know that if he gets hurt more, our season's in the toilet.
Yeah.
So why would we do anything against A&M Corpus Christi? Now, here's the interesting part for me, and here's what I spent more time thinking about. From what we're hearing and seeing, Darren Peterson is good enough where he's probably going to be good no matter what happens, how often he plays, whatever. You'd like other guys to work with him, but you don't worry as much about, like, oh, if he sits out all this time, will he adjust? We're hearing nothing from anybody and seeing nothing every time he steps on the floor that makes us concerned he won't be effective when he's on the floor. Yep. The learning curve for him is not normal as it is even for great freshmen. This appears to be a different level of player. So now you look at it last night when you see Cole Rosario take the lion's share of the shots. There's a path to that being a huge development for KU. You love seeing Trey White, one of the older guys. You weren't here yesterday. Like, for me, it's more of a question of, like, where are these seniors? Where are these older players? Where have they been? Well, Trey White stepped up last night, got him double digits. They spread the minutes out quite a bit last night. Bill Self did, but we saw, two of those seniors basically start the game, Melvin Council and Trey White. And I think that's good because those older guys are going to have to step up here. Cole Rosario, maybe he's the next best player. We'll ask Shreyas Laddha that. I don't know yet. Maybe he is. If he is, I'm glad he's getting more minutes right now. And Flory Badunga, he needs to stay on the floor. 19 minutes last night, but he has been wildly effective while he's been on the floor. So I think you can still take positives away from a game in which Darren Peterson misses, but it would be different if it was the first time we've seen this. But now we've seen the cramping issues. We've seen some of this. It's just it's a little troublesome early. We're 3 games into this thing.
I think the biggest trend that I think that every KU fan is kind of freaking out about right now, and what we're reacting to that makes us feel like this is the fact that he's so talented that this doesn't matter. Like typically in college,
That's fine.
Typically in college, guys want to play 40 minutes every game, put the most tape on film that they can, and show the scouts like, hey, here I am. This is what you get from me. For Darren Peterson, like I said, he could not play a game. He could not play a minute, and he'd probably be a top 5, top 10 pick.
He'd be the number 1 pick. He'd be the number 1 pick.
Number 1 pick. I mean, AJ DeMonster's pretty good. If he's hurt for a year, I'd say people would take AJ DeMonster. But he's going to be top 5 if he didn't play a second of basketball in college. So that's the thing, is that there's no rush for him to be like, I got to play. You want him to be the guy where it's like, I want to be out there for my team. Like, I want to do this stuff. And I'm sure he is. But I think that there's probably a little bit of Bill Self saying, listen, bro, it's Corpus Christi. Like, we'll get you back for Duke next week.
Well, and that's the thing, is Bill Self protecting him. We don't know the answer to that. Maybe Shreyas does. Because there hasn't been stuff like Peterson, by all accounts, has been a fantastic teammate and a fantastic steward, even for Kansas, right? He's trying to get guys to come and do all these things, even when he's going to be gone. Like, I think he's loved it so far, and that's great. It just, Bill Self maybe has to protect him from him, and that's good too. That's Bill Self's job. They don't need to play him and this is not unusual either. If it's a soft tissue injury. And my concern is that it's not cramps this time. It's a different thing, right? It's a hamstring now. If it was cramps again, like, okay, shutting him down for a little bit makes sense. Now it's a different thing, though. It's a hamstring. And again, like, there is also a path where it's just like Peterson kind of skates through the non-con, doesn't play these games against teams that aren't very good, only plays the big-time opponents. Rick on YouTube says get ready for load management. Maybe that's a term. I don't know. It's too early to say. So, but if he has a bum hamstring, I don't want him to play either, because I don't want him getting hurt in the A&M Corpus Christi game so we can all scratch our itch of watching this superstar young dude play basketball. Like, he needs to be ready for the Big 12. And by all accounts, individually, he will be. The team also needs to be ready. And they look good without him last night. Look, a 31-point win is a 31-point win.
That's another part of it as well. Something I saw on social media last night. Somebody brought up, and it was like 6 different points why this happened. And it was like, he was actually hurt. He doesn't want to get more hurt as the potential number 1 pick. Something. Bill Self wants to see what the rest of the team looks like. We want to get more minutes for Cole Rosario and Jaden Dawson. Like, it's like everything that, like, there's a bulleted list that this person put out, and it was like Bill Self probably went through that, and it was like, that's probably not the worst thing in the world if he sat out. Like, it's probably okay. Like, let's just tell him to do that. And it's like, it's not going to happen against Duke. It's not going to happen against Michigan State in the Champions Classic, but it can happen against Corpus Christi.
Yeah, it's look, listen, they won big last night. Okay, they won big without him. I don't want to gloss over that either. The Peterson thing is a bigger story, for sure. There's no question it's a bigger story. KU still has to be able to play basketball, the rest of the roster, well, if they're going to do anything close to what we hope they can be able to do this year. And so we've got to see these other guys develop. That's a crazy thing. I don't know, TJ, what path through 3 games we could have where we have some solid take on what the rest of the roster is going to be capable of this year. I don't think we could. So this is last night's is a very, I think, positive development in what the rest of the team can do. They held any team to 18 points in the first half. You feel good about that. 46 points allowed. I think that was the big thing we wanted to see in this game after the North Carolina game. Will they respond defensively? And they did respond defensively. I know who they played, but if they didn't, I mean, maybe they win that game by 20 and not 30. You know what I mean? Like, it was still an impressive performance. And the reality is, and I think this is where I'm going to have to just put myself and not worry about whether an 18-year-old's sore hamstring is going to keep him out of games in November. I'm going to worry about, are there going to be 5 or 6 other guys on this roster that step up and give a team capable of winning a bunch of Big 12 games? I think the answer to that question right now is I have no idea. Flory Badunga will be able to hang in the Big 12. You going to make that statement as a definitive for anybody else on the roster?
No.
We've seen Marco Jackson and Jamari McDowell try for 3 years. They couldn't get on the floor.
I mean, Flory's also like such a dependent player on others as well. Like Flory's not going to. I don't think Flory's got it in him right now. Yeah, I don't think he's got it in him to go take over a game right now.
But his defense can lead the way.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
he's still somebody's got to score with points.
For sure, and they do. But the other part is, as long as Peterson doesn't just like miss a bunch of Big 12 games, he's going to score a ton of points. Whether he plays games in November or doesn't play any games in November, he'll step onto the floor and score points. Yeah. That I think we've seen probably enough to know like that's going to happen no matter what happens right now. When he's on the floor, he will score points. So who can step up and twofold, who can score a bunch of points when he's not on the floor, which appears like it's going to have to be a skill that this team has, right? How do we play when he's not here? And who become the big time players around him when he is on the court? It would appear, and I think if we told you, and we'll ask Shreyas this because I think he will agree. If I told you that Cole Rosario developed into the number 2 or 3, whatever you think of Flory Badunga in his role, I would imagine that that's a very positive development for the potential of this team.
I think so. I think that also in the same breath, though, means that somebody else that was supposed to be in that spot probably isn't as good as you think that they were.
I don't know who the other person is.
It'd probably be, I don't know. People like Melvin Council a lot. People like Trey White a lot. And it feels like Cole's better than both of them. And
well, so those are older. Those are older guys that I'm satisfied with if they're bringing energy and playing roles because they're older players that won't make mistakes and almost certainly as older players should help you defensively.
No.
So I mean, look, this team will be very good if it's Jackson and Rosario and Badunga leading the way. That probably is the highest ceiling possible for this team. If those are the 3 primary dudes for this team, that's your highest ceiling, I think. But your floor can be very low when you're depending on 2 freshmen and a sophomore who didn't play very much last year. And I think that's where these other guys have to quickly adapt to Bill Self and become acclimated to what he's asking of them because they'll raise the floor, right? These seniors, these experienced players, Marco Jackson, like those are the guys that can lift that floor up and I think make a huge difference. So hopefully we continue to see that. But, we had this conversation yesterday. I went on TV and said the same thing. Like the North Carolina reaction surprised me because I guess for me, I'm like, what are you expecting out of this team right now? I don't think it should be a lot. Like the expectation for this team has to be where they end, not where they start. The last 2 years have been far more about how they started and not how they ended because they came out of the gates and you're like, this is KU. This is who they are. This is the best version of themselves. Their trajectory went on a flat line. They started as preseason number 1. You hoped they stayed as preseason number 1, but there wasn't like an upside to those teams. So yeah, they're going to come out and they're going to beat people up in November. Whoopee! Doesn't matter. This team's not going to do that. So what is the expectation for November? The expectation ought to be we got to see this team get better, right, and reach its potential this year. That's the question. The question is the potential, not how they're playing in November.
How much better are they going to get between November and January, though? Like, I don't think that. Like,
I think lot.
They're not going to get like worlds better. Like, they might play together and find roles.
That at all. You're trying to be led right now in a best case scenario that we just talked about by 2 true freshmen and a sophomore who barely played last year. So yeah, I would.
Are they going to be awesome in a month? Like, what's going to change?
They'll have 15 games under their belt.
I mean, I'd rather see a team that was playing good in November and ride that out, and hopefully it doesn't sputter like it did.
That's what you saw the last couple of years.
Well, if I get to pick it,
you saw the preseason number 1 come out and beat people up and didn't get any better.
Okay, it's not a bad thing to be the preseason number one. Like,
it's not a bad thing but you got to understand, like, they were the preseason number one and they never got any better. They got worse. In fact, that was the disappointment.
I mean, by that logic, the Isaac Brown led Shockers that lost to Alcorn State should have won the national championship. Like, if
they still have to get better.
There's a lot of room for them to get better, though.
We'll continue the conversation on the other side. We'll keep it going here. Give us your comments. We'll be right back on Sports Daily.
Lightning, hail, tornadoes, flooding. It's the worst of severe weather, and it's coming. Spring brings warmer temperatures, but also dangerous weather conditions. Stay up to date day or night with the Storm Team 12 weather app. You'll get accurate forecasts, so you can plan ahead and stay safe, no matter the weather. Download the Storm Team 12 weather app, brought to you by Stutzman's Greenhouse.
The future of television has arrived. Next Gen TV is here with stunning video, movie theater quality sound, enhanced voice clarity, and interactive features, all upgradable for the future. Learn more at watchnextgentv.com.
Canvas of our imagination. They tell a story. Clouds affect the events of your day. Sometimes they growl, sometimes they inspire, but they're always the messengers of nature's mood, written in the sky. Storm Team 12 understands the language of clouds. We're dedicated to decoding their message, so you know what to expect. Behind every cloud, there is a story waiting to be told. Trust Ross Jansen and Storm Team 12, alerting you first to the impact on your life.
We are following a breaking update.
Every day, all day, stream the stories that have you talking near and far.
Whoever is behind the wheel of this bus is not stopping.
From hundreds of local reporters and meteorologists spanning the country.
Chaos here this morning at the UW campus.
Search LNL for the all-new Local News Live streaming app.
Odyssey is one of the most influential audio and entertainment brands in the nation. You already know Odyssey's iconic local radio brands in Wichita. But did you know Odyssey has the country's best collection of music, news, and sports brands? Odyssey is also a premium podcast creator, major event producer, and digital innovator. Odyssey brings people together across the country and right here in Wichita. Odyssey also delivers meaningful radio and digital audio results. Find out our story and impact at odysseyinc.com/Wichita.
Make yourself known now.
8310 in traffic pursuit.
Oh my God, here.
Investigate TV Plus begins with real people.
We investigate stories that impact you.
And inspire change every day.
Something is broken.
Real problems.
Why are they hiding it?
And real solutions.
My daughter was dying in front of me.
What was your reaction when he said that?
Investigate TV Plus, weekdays at 3:30 p.m. on KWCH.
Sometimes people tell us, I don't get it, it's just tea. But let me tell you, we are so much more than just tea. With 20 plus flavors of sweet and unsweet iced tea, the possibilities are endless. Come on in and try them all for free to find your favorite or get us on the go for your busy lifestyle. And don't miss happy hour every day. So the next time someone tells you it's just tea, tell them to come by and find out why we say drink tea, be happy.
Jim Rome here, lighting up your afternoons on The Jim Rome Show. Catch me starting at 2 on Wichita's #1 sports radio, Kansas fan headquarters, 97.5 and 1240 KFH.
Mornings are busy. We're here to make your mornings better. We report the stories that affect you.
3 more hospital lies from contaminated apple juice just a day after the FDA issued a recall.
We're here to make your mornings better.
Closing east and westbound lanes of K96 for repairs.
With 12 News, you're prepared for your whole day.
Scattered thunderstorms across the state into the afternoon.
Stay a step ahead with 12 News this morning on KWCH and KSCW.
On KFH.
All right, welcome back, everybody. It is Sports Daily. Glad to be here with you. Thanks to Crestview Country Club for being a great supporter of the program. TJ, I'm going to try to do something out at Crestview I haven't done, probably, August. I'm going to try to play golf 2 days in a row this week because it is going to be beautiful. So we're going to try and get out there. And the good news is I could play a different set of 18 holes each day I get out there and play because they have 36 holes of golf. The season is extending longer than normal for the casual golfer. Give Crestview a call. Ask them about all the different kinds of memberships they have. It is a good time of the year to join, kind of in the slower golf season. Maybe there's a special deal. Give them a call. Ask for Todd. Tell them we sent you here at Sports Daily. All right, we're having a conversation here, and I know we're spending a lot of time with this, but it was a pretty interesting development last night. Darren Peterson sits out sore hamstring. But that took us into a conversation that I've been thinking a lot about, and that's what's expectation for KU basketball right now? Duke last year in a somewhat similar situation, although they had more coming back than KU has currently. They lost 2 games before Thanksgiving last year, DJ. And they were both to good teams, to Kentucky and to Kansas. Now, I think the big difference that people would point out is they also had Arizona and Auburn wins. Auburn was was December 4th, but Auburn at the time was number 2. Arizona, I think at the time, was number 17. Arizona not as good last year as maybe we thought they'd be, but they also had big wins, but they had losses too. So I think that we just have to be really careful. And this is always going to be the challenge of this season, because Kansas goes from being the preseason number 1 2 years in a row to a team with nothing coming back except a sophomore that didn't play very much. Like, we have to be reasonable with November and December expectations for this team.
I mean, if you made me pick, obviously I would want them to play better in March than they were playing in November. I think that everybody in the world will tell you that much. But it's the fact of I don't know. I don't think that per KU standards, I don't think that this was supposed to be a down year. Did you?
I don't think it's going to be a down year. They lost to North Carolina on the road after playing a bad half of basketball.
I know. I'm not trying to overreact to the North Carolina loss. I'm just saying that to just argue with your point that you made about that you would rather them be at this point than they were the past 2 years.
But yes, because the problem with the last 2 years is that was a team that peaked in November. I don't want this to be a team that peaks in November. That is not that can't be the best thing for the team. The thing for me when I talk about expectations for KU will be, are they getting better every time we see them take the floor? Are they consistently getting better every time they're out there? That wasn't possible necessarily with the last 2 teams because they peaked right out of the gates. And then either they got worse or everyone else got better and they didn't, because they already were what we thought they were. It wasn't good enough. And ultimately it bit them 2 years ago at the end of the season because their best wasn't good enough. What I need to see right now is that this team keeps getting better every time we see them take the floor. That's my expectation. So they come out and they look good in the first half against North Carolina. A very young team falls flat in a second half. How do they respond to that? Well, they smash Corpus Christi. That doesn't tell us a whole lot. But now how do they respond the next time they play a big road game? The next time they're presented with that opportunity? We're not going to see it until they go and play Duke on a neutral, right? Which is 6 days away now, a week from yesterday. They're not going to see it against Princeton this weekend, but they'll get lots of chances. Look, they're going to play Duke. They're going to play Notre Dame. I don't know much about the Irish. Don't know much about Syracuse other than that those are good teams typically. They have a game against UConn. They have a game against Mizzou. They have a game against North Carolina State. All of those games happen before they play Big 12 basketball. This young.
Hold on. Hypothetical. All those games that you just listed off. What if they don't win one of them? Where are you at?
What if they have, what would that be? 5 losses? One. Yeah. That'd be 2. Well, they're not going to, I don't think they're going to lose to Notre Dame and Syracuse, but that would be.
Okay. What if they lose to Duke, UConn, and Mizzou?
That's 3. That's 4 losses before conference play.
Yeah.
I probably, if we looked at this schedule before the season started and you asked me how many losses would they have before conference play, I probably would have told you 4.
You're like, 4. You're just going to go into conference play without a Power 4 win or 1.
If it's 4, you're going to have wins somewhere between Notre Dame and Syracuse and Mizzou and Duke and North Carolina State. You're going to have some. You're going to have some. I mean, they beat Louisville in an exhibition, but like it was still something that we paid attention to. They housed Green Bay. They housed A&M Corpus Christi. They have played one bad half of basketball now that we have seen. One bad half of basketball. That's it. That's better than I thought it would be.
Well, they played Green Bay and Corpus Christi
and
the other
Louisville
2 games.
And
That's
Louisville.
Okay.
That game did. I mean, they played their guys. Everybody played. So it's not. I just don't like. There's so many terms that are not appropriate for radio that I'm trying to say and trying to think of a better way and a more appropriate way to say it. Like we just can't overreact to a bad half. If they have 4 losses, it'll be a really interesting conversation going into conference play. But I don't think it writes their story for the rest of this year. This is a team, in my opinion, and always has been, and I'm probably in the minority on this, especially among KU fans. This is a team for me that I sort of expect to be a 3 seed maybe if things go really well, but then to win a bunch of tournament games. Like that's the upside to me. They're not going to win the Big 12 this year. They may not finish in the top 4 or 5 in the Big 12 this year. I don't like, this is the team that I'm not supposed to care as much about that stuff. That was the last couple of years. That's not, this team is the chip in a chair, rely on a bunch of young players, bunch of 18-year-olds to be getting better over the course of the season so that they are hopefully good enough to make a tournament run that the prior teams that were old and experienced couldn't make because they weren't talented enough.
I don't know. I think that you have a point there on the difference between these 2 teams, but I think that's what KU's just fallen into the past 3 years, honestly, is it's kind of like
it's been 3 years.
It's kind of like, hey, like it's fine. Like it's KU, like just get them in there and they'll figure it out when they get into March. And it just doesn't have, like, they treat it like they're the Chiefs that one year whenever they had to go on the road. And it's like, they sucked in the regular season, but it's the Chiefs, man. Like in the playoffs, they're a different team. And it's kind of just been like, yeah, they're KU. Like it's Bill Self. They'll figure stuff out when it comes to March. And it's like, I don't know. I think that the biggest conversation overall over the last year, I think, after what happened last year has been like, where is the state of KU basketball at? Because this is not the team that won 10 straight conference championships. Like this isn't the team that wins every game in Allen Fieldhouse anymore. Like, and I don't think that that's possible anymore. Like with the way that basketball is.
The consequences of here's what's really interesting about that question, because I would tell you if I didn't know anything about it, like what makes them so consistent, it would be that they're able to consistently keep guys in the program for a long time and bring along really gifted young players with them, right? That's exactly what they did the last 3 years. They kept more players. They returned more to their roster than anybody. And it was the wrong path. So all this thing, and that's not because the philosophy's wrong. It's because the players were wrong. Those pieces didn't fit. But what is Bill Self going to do? Kick Hunter Dickinson out the door? Say, hey, Wando, All-American. We're going to have to ask you to do something else. Go find a different place to play. Like, what was he supposed to do? What were they supposed to do? They did the thing that they always did, and they couldn't figure out how to make it work with that group of players. So now it's a little different this year. And that's why I think expectations are really hard to grasp, because they're trying to do something we haven't seen them do since when? Wiggins?
Yeah.
I mean,
that was even more different, though, because I guess that was kind of the same, but that was one of the greatest classes in KU history.
Right, but we don't see that out of Bill Self that often. Like they don't. That's not how he does it. And it's not. And again, like, this is what makes that a really difficult question. It's not like he didn't do that same thing that's always made them successful the last couple of years. It was just the wrong players. So now they finally get a chance to reset all of that. I don't think it's a program issue. I don't think it's a Bill Self issue. I don't think all that much has changed. I think they had the wrong mix of players, and they just had them for a long time. That's all it was to me. Now they get a chance to reset. It might take more than just this year to kind of get back into that groove, right? Where they bring along players for 3 and 4 years, let them become really great juniors and seniors, and then mix in 1 or 2 really talented young guys. The transfer portal has made it a little bit different now, right? That's the difference that you've got to make a change for. Those guys haven't worked out very well. If you ask me, like, the underlying, like, if you're looking big picture issue, transfer guys have had a hard time in the program, except that you've got to remember Hunter Dickinson was a transfer guy, and what's his face from Arizona State that helped him win a natty.
Remy Martin.
Remy, yeah. So they've had success with them, but they've also, it's been, 50-50 probably on those guys coming in and being high impact players. But I don't like that. And I get it. KU, with great, results come great expectations. But right now, I think we're being completely unreasonable with expectations. And a bad half against North Carolina should not have created the panic. Fans should be more concerned that Darren Peterson missed a game last night with a sore hamstring than they should be that they played a bad second half against North Carolina.
I agree. I think that's just the biggest. That leads right back into that conversation, though, is that, like, if he's hurt, like, how are we going to win games? Like, how are we going to beat?
And I don't know the answer. I don't know.
How are we going to go to Morgantown and beat West Virginia? Like games like that.
Going to find out. They looked good without him last night, and it was A&M Corpus Christi. So he's going to play the Duke game. Count on it. Maybe he plays against Princeton. Maybe he doesn't, but he'll play against Duke, and that's where it matters. So if he doesn't play against Princeton, and the results of that are that Cole Rosario steps into a larger role, that's probably not the worst thing in the world. Like, there could be worse things, and that's what he did last night. He steps up, and KU gets a big win. And that is a positive development for this team, because they may play games without Darren Peterson. And if that's going to happen, somebody steps up. 16 points on 6 of 10 shooting in 24 minutes. Yes. Flory Badunga continues to look good. Man, I need to see him stay on the floor. He's bringing more offense to the table, TJ, than I thought he would. He's been a better offensive player in his minutes than I thought he would. I knew he was going to be a defensive presence. If he can provide a little offense for him, figure out how to stay on the floor.
Man, I think that Bryson Tiller has been one of the biggest surprises of this year. He's been awesome off the bench to be there with Flory.
There you go. Maybe that's one of the answers. All right, we're coming back. We got another hour of Sports Daily for you. Let's get ready for Chiefs Broncos. We'll go back to KU. We'll ask Shreyas Laddha all these questions. I think they're fascinating. Don't miss hour 2. We're coming right back.
Lightning, hail, tornadoes, flooding. It's the worst of severe weather, and it's coming. Spring brings warmer temperatures, but also dangerous weather conditions. Stay up to date day or night with the Storm Team 12 weather app. you'll get accurate forecasts, so you can plan ahead and stay safe, no matter the weather. Download the Storm Team 12 weather app, brought to you by Stutzman's Greenhouse.
The future of television has arrived. Next Gen TV is here with stunning video, movie theater quality sound, enhanced voice clarity, and interactive features, all upgradable for the future. Learn more at watchnextgentv.com.
The canvas of our imagination. They tell a story. Clouds affect the events of your day. Sometimes they growl, sometimes they inspire, but they're always the messengers of nature's mood, written in the sky. Storm Team 12 understands the language of clouds. We're dedicated to decoding their message, so you know what to expect. Behind every cloud, there is a story waiting to be told. Trust Ross Jansen and Storm Team 12, alerting you first to the impact on your life.
We are following a breaking update.
Every day, all day, stream the stories that have you talking near and far.
Whoever is behind the wheel of this bus is not stopping.
From hundreds of local reporters and meteorologists spanning the country.
Chaos here this morning at the UW campus.
Search LNL for the all-new Local News Live streaming app.
Odyssey is one of the most influential audio and entertainment brands in the nation. You already know Odyssey's iconic local radio brands in Wichita. But did you know Odyssey has the country's best collection of music, news, and sports brands? Odyssey is also a premium podcast creator, major event producer, and digital innovator. Odyssey brings people together across the country and right here in Wichita. Odyssey also delivers meaningful radio and digital audio results. Find out our story and impact at odysseyinc.com/Wichita.
Make yourself known now. 831001 in traffic pursuit.
Oh my God, here.
Investigate TV Plus begins with real people.
We investigate stories that impact you
and inspire change every day.
Something is broken.
Real problems.
Why are they hiding it?
And real solutions.
My daughter was dying in front of me.
What was your reaction when he said that?
Investigate TV Plus, weekdays at 3:30 p.m. on KWCH.
Sometimes people tell us, I don't get it, it's just tea. But let me tell you, we are so much more than just tea. With 20 plus flavors of sweet and unsweet iced tea, the possibilities are endless. Come on in and try them all for free to find your favorite or get us on the go for your busy lifestyle. And don't miss happy hour every day. So the next time someone tells you it's just tea, tell them to come by and find out why we say, drink tea, be happy.
Jim Rome here, lighting up your afternoons on The Jim Rome Show. Catch me starting at 2 on Wichita's #1 sports radio, Kansas fan headquarters, 97.5 and 1240 KFH.
Mornings are busy. We're here to make your mornings better. We report the stories that affect you.
3 more hospital lies from contaminated apple juice just a day after the FDA issued a recall.
We're here to make your mornings better.
Closing east and westbound lanes of K96 for repairs.
With 12 News, you're prepared for your whole day.
Scattered thunderstorms across the state into the afternoon.
Stay a step ahead with 12 News this morning on KWCH and KSCW.
Wichita's most listened to sports radio, 97.5 and 1240 KFH. This is Sports Daily.
Aloha, Mr. Hyde.
That tune means Max is ready for Hawaiian Shirt Wednesday. We all are, whether TJ wants to be a Scrooge or not. It's not the season to be a Scrooge, TJ.
I'm
We
just
are
gonna wear.
coming up on Christmas.
When can we get some Christmas music playing us in and out of breaks?
When you start participating and wearing Hawaiian shirts. How about that? How about that? How about you put some respect on Thanksgiving's name? How about that?
Thanksgiving's my favorite holiday. It just happens to be during Christmas time.
You just happen to skip it, and
there's just no such thing as Thanksgiving trees or Thanksgiving music.
There's Thanksgiving music. You're listening to it because it's a Hawaiian Shirt Wednesday, and it's going to be close to 70 degrees outside, and we're going to celebrate that fact by bringing out our best Hawaiians and going into full dad mode. TJ,
Hold on. Oh, hold on. Good.
Did you know that you're not allowed to laugh loudly in Hawaii?
Really?
Yeah, you can only give aloha.
Ha 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 ha. Stupid joke. All right. As Jacob is about to walk away here, I got a hypothetical for you here. I'm wheeling and dealing some fantasy football before we deal into the Chiefs, and I want some viewer input here. Dynasty League. This is my main league. Is it a good idea for me to trade CJ Stroud for Daniel Jones?
Well, it's never a good idea to talk fantasy football on the radio because the rule is that nobody cares.
I agree.
What was it again?
Fun.
What was the question?
CJ Stroud for Daniel Jones in a dynasty league.
Do
I buy high on Daniel Jones?
Probably.
I think so.
Yeah, probably.
Enough fantasy talk. People hate that.
It's a 50-50. Jason tells us that we can get redone on this is the conversation about YouTube TV and missing our things. This is on X. He says you can get redone through an NFL Plus subscription.
That's right.
And then just watch Red Zone through that. I don't know how much that is without the ESPN. The problem is, and I'm stuck, and this is where cable, used to have us all those years, is they each have a little something, and you need a little something from all of them, and poof, here's cable, and that's why it's expensive. That's why this stuff is expensive, and I was willing to deal with the rate hikes for YouTube TV because it's like that's the lay of the land. It's fine. Now I'm getting a little annoyed here. Getting a little annoyed. We'll see if there is any resolution anytime soon. We are going to get you ready for the Chiefs game this week against the Broncos. Begin to crack the door open as practice begins this week for the Chiefs, and it's a practices that we'll all have our eyes on. We're also going to have Shreyas Laddha coming up a little later in this hour. It's all what's on tap, brought to you by the Wichita Brewing Company, featuring Oktoberfest, the deeply copper-colored German-style lager that'll make you click your heels, grab your stein, and follow the Copper Brick Road to the land of Oktoberfest. Wichita Brewing Company, pizza and beer made here. No other real headlines, I don't think, out of the sports world that have come in the last day or two. Kind of looking at the new AP Top 25 as we put a bow on college basketball until we get to college talk with Shreyas Laddha in just a little bit. Houston now the number one. They jump Purdue. So if we're looking at it from a Big 12 perspective, you've got Houston at 1, Arizona at 5, BYU at 7, Texas Tech at 11. What does that give us? 5 in the top 11. And then Iowa State is off to a nice start in at number 16. And you have Kansas at number 15. I don't believe, Kansas State is getting some votes. Kansas State's getting some votes. Baylor's getting some votes.
What are you reading me right now? The men's
Big 12
college basketball?
also. Yeah, college basketball.
I thought KU was 25.
That's what I just said.
You said 15.
Oh, sorry,
Okay.
25. Yeah. Iowa State 16. Yeah, KU's 25. K-State and Baylor are getting votes. So that gives us, and Oklahoma State's getting a vote. That's a development I haven't been paying attention to. So that's 3, 4 getting votes or higher. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 teams. 9 teams out of the Big 12 would be essentially then in like the top 30 let's call it, a third of them. So, man, it's going to be as good as ever. Back to that KU conversation, like where do they finish in that kind of a league?
I know.
And will it matter? That's the part of that. Will it matter where they finish? Yes, it matters in the sense that if you're a KU fan, you want to see them finish high. Of course you do. But will it matter to what they do in the big big tournament, the NCAA tournament? I don't think it will. I just, again, like, it's like, how much better can they get at the end of the Big 12 season than they are right now? That's for expectations. That is legitimately all I care about.
Before we dig into football, I got to say one more thing on this. Is the fact of, I don't remember who said it. It was some coach a couple of years ago about the fact of like taking a lot of stock in winning conference championships, which every coach does. And somebody was like, there needs to be more stock in winning conference championships and less stock on winning national championships, because there needs to be less reward for teams that are able to survive a 6 straight win crapshoot that is March Madness. Like it was really, really hard to win national championships, and it really doesn't mean anything for your regular season. You just got to get in and do it. And so somebody's like, we should probably reward conference championships a little bit more.
You mean in like the world of it was a good or bad season?
Yes,
I agree with. I've always said that. I've always said, like, KU's conference championship streak,
yes,
was one of the most impressive things I've ever seen in sports. It was flat unbelievable that they were able to do that.
Yep.
And so, like, that's the thing for me that
would be. I'd love to see a hypothetical question for KU fans of like, would you rather win 8 straight conference championships or win the national title in 2 years?
Well, they'll tell you national title.
I don't think I don't know if I'd pick that.
No, I'm not saying which one's real, but they'll tell you a national title.
Yeah.
Now, because I used to have this conversation all the time, but this conversation goes bigger than that. Would you rather, as a Royals fan, be in the playoffs 10 straight years, or win the World Series one time and miss the playoffs 9?
I feel like it's different though in pro sports and in Major League Baseball, because that's the only accolade. Like, I guess it's not, but I don't get up for winning the Central. Like, that's not quite winning the Big 12.
Well, it's making the postseason though, which I think is the same.
I'd say in that situation, I'd say I'd rather win the World Series and miss it for 10 years, like we've seen with the Royals.
No chance, because I've been given so much more in those years, and the caveat, it should be like, you can't guarantee that you won't win a World Series. You just can't guarantee that you will, right?
Yeah.
I'll give you the guaranteed World Series or the divisions, because to me, like, the thing about those streaks were, you had, how long is college basketball season? November to March, 4 months.
Yeah.
You had 4 months of quality entertainment added to your life every year, because they were always awesome. They were always playing in big games. You get excited for those big games, and no, they didn't win a natty, but they were always in the mix and they were always swinging for the fences. It's what's made UConn's back-to-back. I mean, it's such a crapshoot tournament. It is the most difficult championship in all of sports to win, I'm convinced, which is why UConn getting 2 and us all just kind of knowing they were going to was a very strange thing.
I think that college football is the same way as well, though, is that, like, if you want in the playoff, you can't have less than 3 or 4 losses max. And so
TJ, it used to be you can't have more than 1.
I know, that's even crazy.
Sometimes that wasn't even good enough.
Yeah.
Which was absurd and stupid and outrageous, and the worst thing we had going in sports. This 12 team, it may end up being the same teams anyway, but my goodness, how dumb was that? So yeah, that's there for KU. It's there for K-State. It's there for everybody. Who's going to be good? Who's going to be bad? We still don't get to see Wichita State and K-State this week. I don't like this Saturday to Thursday business. But we've got it for both Wichita State and K. I'm ready to see them both play games again. I do. And it's I'm guilty of looking too much into, for those two teams, the opponents that they've played. But for the Shockers especially, they're about to play two much better opponents than they played in the first two games. Loyola's not great, but they're way better than what they've played. And then it gets even better than that in the next game. And for K-State, Cal's good. Cal's top 80 in the
Cal's
KenPom
going to be their
right now.
biggest game.
Led by
K-State's
Day-Day
about to
Ames.
have K-State's Day-Day Ames, K-State's about to have a lot of games in this non-conference that are better than the non-conference that they played last year by far. That's going to learn a lot.
It's an interesting non-con in a year they have so many questions, because I think it's the best Tang has played. I don't remember that first year who they played that year in the non-con. But this will be a fun non-con, and it's going to be a fun non-con for Wichita State too. But very different reasons, right? Like we probably don't envision as high a ceiling for the Shockers as we would for a team like K-State, but it could be, right? Like if all things came together and they've looked really good, I can't wait for their next two games.
It's not, but I'll tell you about those 2 games later. Bubble watch is on my mind.
Oh yeah, I agree. I would agree with that. That's in a best case scenario for sure. But before you get to that, an AAC championship watch is more likely than a bubble watch.
That probably has to happen.
And is that on the table? We'll find out. They're about to get tested the next 2. All right, we're coming back. We will talk Chiefs. We've got more college basketball and football talk coming later this hour with Shreyas Laddha. Don't go away.
Lightning, hail, tornadoes, flooding. It's the worst of severe weather, and it's coming. Spring brings warmer temperatures, but also dangerous weather conditions. Stay up to date day or night with the Storm Team 12 weather app. You'll get accurate forecasts, so you can plan ahead and stay safe, no matter the weather. Download the Storm Team 12 weather app, brought to you by Stutzman's Greenhouse.
The future of television has arrived. Next Gen TV is here with stunning video, movie theater quality sound, enhanced voice clarity, and interactive features, all upgradable for the future. Learn more at watchnextgentv.com.
The canvas of our imagination. They tell a story. Clouds affect the events of your day. Sometimes they growl, sometimes they inspire, but they're always the messengers of nature's mood, written in the sky. Storm Team 12 understands the language of clouds. We're dedicated to decoding their message, so you know what to expect. Behind every cloud, there is a story waiting to be told. Trust Ross Jansen and Storm Team 12, alerting you first to the impact on your life.
We are following a breaking update.
Every day, all day, stream the stories that have you talking near and far.
Whoever is behind the wheel of this bus is not stopping.
From hundreds of local reporters and meteorologists spanning the country.
Chaos here this morning at the UW campus.
Search LNL for the all-new Local News Live streaming app.
Odyssey is one of the most influential audio and entertainment brands in the nation. You already know Odyssey's iconic local radio brands in Wichita. But did you know Odyssey has the country's best collection of music, news, and sports brands? Odyssey is also a premium podcast creator, major event producer, and digital innovator. Odyssey brings people together across the country and right here in Wichita. Odyssey also delivers meaningful radio and digital audio results. Find out our story and impact at odysseyinc.com/Wichita.
Make yourself known now.
8310 in traffic pursuit.
Oh my God, here.
Investigate TV Plus begins with real people.
We investigate stories that impact you
and inspire change every day.
Something is broken.
Real problems.
Why are they hiding it?
And real solutions.
My daughter was dying in front of me.
What was your reaction when he said that?
Investigate TV Plus, weekdays at 3:30 p.m. on KWCH.
Sometimes people tell us, I don't get it, it's just tea. But let me tell you, we are so much more than just tea. With 20 plus flavors of sweet and unsweet iced tea, the possibilities are endless. Come on in and try them all for free to find your favorite or get us on the go for your busy lifestyle. And don't miss happy hour every day. So the next time someone tells you it's just tea, tell them to come by and find out why we say drink tea, be happy.
Jim Rome here, lighting up your afternoons on The Jim Rome Show. Catch me starting at 2 on Wichita's #1 sports radio, Kansas Fan Headquarters, 97.5 and 1240 KFH.
Mornings are busy. We're here to make your mornings better. We report the stories that affect you.
3 more hospital lies from contaminated apple juice just a day after the FDA issued a recall.
We're here to make your mornings better.
Closing east and westbound lanes of K96 for repairs.
With 12 News, you're prepared for your whole day.
Scattered thunderstorms across the state into the afternoon.
Stay a step ahead with 12 News this morning on KWCH and KSCW.
Daily is on KFH.
All right, welcome back in, everybody. Glad to be here with you. You can score a pair of tickets to see Journey at Intrust Bank Arena on April 4th, 2026. Text the keyword Journey to the number 20357. One entry daily between November 10th and November 21st. Winner picked on November 24th. Standard message and data rates apply. We're getting ready to talk a little NFL here. You can always count on Sundays with the NFL. CBS Paramount Plus this Sunday. Stream Chiefs, Broncos. If you're not by the TV, 3:25 Eastern. Of course, that'll be CBS on KWCH 12 this weekend. Then stay for the premiere of the new season of the hit original series, Landman. It's all on Paramount Plus. Visit ParamountPlus.com/NFL to get started today. All right, TJ, welcome back. Let's talk NFL. Let's talk Kansas City Chiefs. Let's talk Wednesday practice with everything riding on it. Do we or do we not see Josh Simmons running with the ones today as practice opens back up?
I say yes.
I do too. I say yes. They got us just a little bit spooked. Just a little bit spooked here. That something might be fishy, because Andy Reid wouldn't commit to it on Monday. But are we really that worried about this? You know, like, do we really not think that this left tackle, this rookie they took in the first round, who, while he's been on the field, has been really, really good, is not going to get out there and play if he's healthy? I doubt it.
I think he's going to
play. I think he is too. But come on now. What are we doing here? I think he is too. Why wouldn't he?
I know. I think it's I don't think there's any reason of why he wouldn't. I don't know why Andy was being coy about it either. I think that might just be chalked up to Andy trying to be coy and maybe trying to have some gamesmanship. But at the end of the day, I mean, there's going to be an injury report, and I think that if he's not hurt, I don't think he can be questionable. Like, I don't know. Maybe I guess he doesn't have to be on the injury report. He's not injured. I don't know.
Yeah, he's not. He does, but why can't they just say, yeah, he's going to be out there? Like, what are we trying to accomplish with that? Unless he's not physically ready, unless, while he was away, he just didn't stay in shape, which I suppose is possible. It's just, I just am ready for that practice to start and then to say, yep, Josh Simmons is out there. Because if Josh Simmons is good, and Andy Reid did say Juwan Taylor should be good, I think the Chiefs are going to beat the Broncos by a pretty good amount. And that's also hard to say as we crack the can on this. I think the Broncos are fraudulent. They continue to win games, but man, they have not played a very good schedule. Their offense to me is not scary at all. The one thing that scares you to death is their pass rush. And that's the thing that got the Chiefs beat against the Bills. Yep. So it makes it hard. It does. It makes it hard to just say, because all I want to say is the Chiefs are going to beat them by two touchdowns. And then I'm like, yeah, but man, they can get after the quarterback.
There's a real chance that we could see this game play out where the Chiefs win it 7-3 or something like that.
I know. But even then, and I'm glad you brought that point up, because I think it brings up a good point. If Denver is able to give them fits, right? If that happens, okay, which is possible. I think it's very possible that it happens. Why would the Chiefs defense not be able to handle their Denver offense? That becomes the second question to me.
Yeah. I think
why would they not be able to handle
that's the one thing that feels sure in this game is that the Denver offense isn't good and the Chiefs defense is good. So I feel like the one thing that we can kind of be certain on or feel confident in at least is that it's going to be a low scoring.
Yeah, I agree with that.
The Broncos will be low scoring.
Well,
if the Chiefs offense is good, the Chiefs can score a lot of points.
But I don't. Again, is the Chiefs offensive line fully healthy?
I'm saying from the fact of that's the thing that's the question. I think the thing that's not the question.
Surtan's gone now.
Yeah.
The defensive play out. So if there is good protection, then I do think the Chiefs offense will go.
Yeah, I think that they could.
Anybody, as long as they have good protection.
Yes, I agree. I think that the thing is that the thing that I'm saying is that the thing that we feel like we are confident in is that the Broncos won't score a lot of points because we don't like the Broncos offense. We don't think that Bo Nix is all that great this year. And we think the Chiefs defense is really good this year. The thing that we don't know about is what the Chiefs offense will look like is that there's a bunch of pass rush. So I think that that's the one uncertainty that we keep coming back to. But I think that even in a world where the pass rush isn't good, or if pass rush is good, the pass block is not good, the Chiefs could still win this game 7-3.
Well, right. Yeah, they could, but because
they might lose it 7-3.
Yeah, I don't.
It's not good. Going double. Neither team will score double digits.
Come off of a bye week. You don't think the Chiefs will win by double digits?
If Simmons plays and they can control the pass rush, they will.
Well, you can't say if they can. If Simmons, we got to simplify it more if we're going to make proclamations. If Simmons starts that game, I think that they win by double digits.
I'll say that as well.
Yeah, I don't think if he plays, it means he's ready to play, and if he is ready to play, then I trust the line that we saw. If we'll see, we'll have to get reporting from people out there. Is he running with the ones? Andy Reid won't be able to be as coy this time because the reporters that are asking questions are going to be at practice and they will say, hey, is he going to start? But you'll know, like he's either running with the ones or he's not running with the ones. He's either fully participating in practice or he's not. If he's not a full participant in practice today, I think there's genuine concern there that he doesn't play. I just can't think of the reason why he would not be a full participant in practice.
I guess that does make me interested of the practice report. What's that mean for that? Will they list him as a limited participant with personal reasons?
If he's a limited participant, then they'll list him as a limited participant.
But he's not injured. That's weird. He's not on there when he misses practice.
He may not physically be ready to play. Right? Like he may not be ready because he got out of shape or something. It's not an injury, but it still could limit his practice.
I don't know if he can get a designation or not. I don't know.
I mean, they limit guys. They limit older players in practice because they're old, right?
Yeah, I guess that's true.
And then you just learn that guy is limited on those days, and and gets there. So it will be, it's the question on everybody's mind. Look, if this wasn't Denver, if this was a different team, it'd be less of a question. But coming off of a Bills game where the Chiefs got pushed around and Patrick Mahomes was running for his life and we all had PTSD of last year, it's right now the number one question facing this team with 4 losses that needs to beat Denver. If they don't beat Denver, I don't know that they can win the AFC West. Like baked into all of these things is them beating Denver twice, right? That's how they're still looking good there.
Yeah.
They're the odds-on favorite to win the Super Bowl. They're favorites on the road. Like all of these things are vested into them beating Denver Sunday. That doesn't assumes that they will. Like that's the thing about.
Yeah. Where is your panic meter at that we've talked about now? Is it still low?
It's not high because I still think they're going to beat the Broncos. It's not that high.
If they lose this game, it's like a 6.
If they lose this game, it's at least a 5, probably. Yeah, I would agree with that and it's not just because of their path gets a little rockier. That's a part of it. It's because they were capable of losing this game, and I just think that they're better than that. And they've not allowed themselves what day will Sunday be? November 15th. They haven't allowed themselves a November 15th or 16, 17, whatever day Sunday is. They haven't allowed that loss to happen now. They had too many at the beginning of the year. Like those kinds of games, especially this one against that team, which you have to beat if you want to win the AFC. Look, if they lose to Indianapolis, it's different than if they lose to Denver because they have to beat Denver to get where they want to go. Denver, hasn't played a great schedule yet. It's not going to be a great schedule at any point, but it'll be better than the one they've played so far down the stretch because it includes Kansas City twice, the Chargers again, and you'd think Green Bay. The Washington game doesn't turn into one they worry about because of Mariota and not Daniels. But Jacksonville, Denver's one thing, but they're better than Jacksonville. At the Raiders, meh. So it's not like their schedule. If the Chiefs are going to catch them, the Chiefs have got to beat them twice.
Yep.
If the Chiefs have 6 losses and Denver only has 2 coming down to the final 6 games, they're not going to catch them in that regard. Because I don't think Denver's going to go 2-4 in those final games, right? They're still going to win, but they're going to win a bunch of those games because they don't really play anybody.
Yep.
You've got to beat them twice for any of this to matter and work.
We're rolling this thing out to where they have to win on Sunday, but we're really rolling it out to where there's a hypothetical where the AFC West Championship is Christmas night in Arrowhead against Denver.
Yeah,
for
sure.
Is that week 17? I think it's
it's week 17. It may not. They may still have to win week 18, but that would be the time they're probably finally able to surpass them.
Yeah,
if they're going to. The problem for the Chiefs is, and why I don't like to look at that too much, the Denver has that soft schedule. The Chiefs don't. The Chiefs' other games outside of the 2 against Denver are Indianapolis, at Dallas, who will have a better defense now.
Yeah.
And they still play the Chargers and the Texans at home. And the Texans will have Stroud back at that point, you'd think. So that's what it. If you wonder what the expectation for the Chiefs is, think about the fact that they're the odds-on favorite to win the Super Bowl right now as a team on the outside of the playoffs in the AFC looking in, playing against teams that they have at Tennessee and at the Raiders. Those are their only cupcakes left in their last 8 games. That's it. That's your odds-on favorite. That team is not in the playoffs if they started today, and 6 out of the 8 games they play the rest of the way are against quality teams.
Yeah.
They're still your odds-on favorite. And I think that for me, it validates the way I feel about it. It validates the way I feel about it because I do feel like they're that good. But then I'm like, I'm crazy for thinking they're that good. But then they're the odds-on favorite, right? Like, and Max, you're getting mad here.
Turn the mic on.
I'm not saying they're the odds-on favorite because it's my opinion. They are literally the odds-on favorite if you win and bet it today to win the Super Bowl. That's not me making that up. Go look at Super Bowl odds. They're the odds-on favorite with all of that still in front of them. So when we're talking about a game against Denver, who's played their soft schedule and we all know isn't as good as their record, you better go out there and kick their tail. Out of a bye week?
I agree.
Healthy?
Any comment, Maxwell?
Everybody gets paid in the NFL. Those guys on the other side have big houses too.
But which part of what I said are you mad about in our private messaging?
They're not the odds-on favorite. First of all,
they are the odds-on favorite, Max.
They won the Super Bowl last year.
I want you to Google Super Bowl odds right now.
Here's two numbers for you: 40 and 15. Look it up. Brady lost 3 Super Bowls by 15.
What? I don't, Max, you're saying they're not the odds-on favorite?
No.
They are quite literally the odds-on favorite.
That's not an opinion. That's a fact.
That's not an opinion. Like, that's what the odds are.
I pity the suckers that take that bet.
Okay. You may not agree with it, but it doesn't change the fact that they're the odds-on favorite. They are the odds-on favorite right now. The question is, do we agree with it? I probably would, but I think I'm in the minority on that.
I think I do too. I do too, but I feel less confident by the week. I feel
it's interesting. It's a really interesting idea because their path just to get there is not easy. Yeah. It's just everybody is saying, but if they get there, they're fine, which is what I said 2 years ago.
If they lose on Sunday, I think they're not the odds-on favorite anymore.
Oh, no, for sure not. No, because their path at that point is really difficult. Yeah, no, they'll drop pretty significantly. So again, that is where I'm like, I think it's okay for me to be as confident in that as I've been because Vegas is telling us they feel the same way based on whatever it is that they use to set this stuff. And they're right a lot, more often than they're not. Obviously, it's a lucrative business out there. So
what's the line on that game? I haven't seen it.
3.5 is what I'm seeing it at this morning. Yeah. Now it literally moved to 4 in the last 10 minutes. It was 3.5. You just asked me. I refreshed the page and it's now at 4 again. Which is a big line on the road. I mean, that's a touchdown probably if it's at Arrowhead then, if it's 4 on the road. It's an odd sensation. The difference between now and a couple of years ago, and I used to drive Tommy nuts when 2 years ago when they went on the road in the playoffs, when they were in the middle of that stink part of their season, I would just say I'm not worried about it because they're really good. Like I'm just not worried about any of this. And he would get so mad. But the point then was the AFC West kind of sucked. The AFC West doesn't suck now. And so the path is much more difficult because the Chargers and Broncos both have a bunch of wins. And so yeah, if the Chiefs could slog along and just get there, then I wouldn't care, right? It'd be like, whatever, they'll be fine. They're talented. They've got Mahomes. It's no big deal. That I don't think that can be the same take this year because they still have to get there. They're on the outside looking in with an insane schedule remaining and 2 teams ahead of them in the division that don't play as difficult a schedule that have games in hand on them. Well, the Chargers have a game in hand on them. So Simmons, again, back to the original point, there is absolutely no reason, in my opinion, as long as he is physically in shape, and even if he wasn't when he walked in the door, he's going to have 2 weeks before the game to get there, needs to be starting at left tackle for them on Sunday.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I think that there's a world where they can do it without him because we saw them play well without him outside of one game, but they're way better with him, I think. But
Denver's better. Buffalo's a good pass rush. Denver's better.
I agree.
So,
but I don't know. I think that it makes it that game just confuses me because the offensive line was so good up until that one, and so it's like, what changed? Like, I don't think.
Well, they played a good pass rush.
Yeah, but I think that they played against they played against the Lions and the Lions.
They weren't. They didn't have. Smith and Taylor nicked up against the Lions. And they
that's
were
more than just a left tackle issue.
Yeah, the bye week helps that too.
Yeah.
And by all accounts, at least Taylor, I don't know that Smith's ever going to be right if it's a bad back, but by all accounts, Andy Reid was like, Taylor's fine, basically. And he doesn't ever say that about anybody. So I assume that Taylor's fine. If he's not, Jalen Moore can move to the right side if Simmons starts at left tackle. Got to start at left tackle. That's the key. Shreyas Laddha is going to join us next. We'll talk a little KU football and basketball when we return on Sports Daily.
Lightning, hail, tornadoes, flooding. It's the worst of severe weather, and it's coming. Spring brings warmer temperatures, but also dangerous weather conditions. Stay up to date day or night with the Storm Team 12 weather app. You'll get accurate forecasts so you can plan ahead and stay safe, no matter the weather. Download the Storm Team 12 weather app, brought to you by Stutzman's Greenhouse.
The future of television has arrived. Next Gen TV is here with stunning video, movie theater quality sound, enhanced voice clarity, and interactive features, all upgradable for the future. Learn more at watchnextgentv.com.
The canvas of our imagination. They tell a story. Clouds affect the events of your day. Sometimes they growl, sometimes they inspire, but they're always the messengers of nature's mood, written in the sky. Storm Team 12 understands the language of clouds. We're dedicated to decoding their message, so you know what to expect. Behind every cloud, there is a story waiting to be told. Trust Ross Jansen and Storm Team 12, alerting you first to the impact on your life.
We are following a breaking update.
Every day, all day, stream the stories that have you talking near and far.
Whoever is behind the wheel of this bus is not stopping.
From hundreds of local reporters and meteorologists spanning the country.
Chaos here this morning at the UW campus.
Search LNL for the all-new Local News Live streaming app.
Odyssey is one of the most influential audio and entertainment brands in the nation. You already know Odyssey's iconic local radio brands in Wichita. But did you know Odyssey has the country's best collection of music, news, and sports brands? Odyssey is also a premium podcast creator, major event producer, and digital innovator. Odyssey brings people together across the country and right here in Wichita. Odyssey also delivers meaningful radio and digital audio results. Find out our story and impact at odysseyinc.com/Wichita.
Make yourself known now.
831001 in traffic pursuit.
Oh my God, here.
Investigate TV Plus begins with real people.
We investigate stories that impact you
and inspire change every day.
Something is broken.
Real problems.
Why are they hiding it?
And real solutions.
My daughter was dying in front of me.
What was your reaction when he said that?
Investigate TV Plus, weekdays at 3:30 p.m. on KWCH.
Sometimes people tell us, I don't get it, it's just tea. But let me tell you, we are so much more than just tea. With 20 plus flavors of sweet and unsweet iced tea, the possibilities are endless. Come on in and try them all for free to find your favorite or get us on the go for your busy lifestyle. And don't miss happy hour every day. So the next time someone tells you it's just tea, tell them to come by and find out why we say, drink tea, be happy.
Jim Rome here, lighting up your afternoons on The Jim Rome Show. Catch me starting at 2 on Wichita's #1 sports radio, Kansas fan headquarters, 97.5 and 1240 KFH.
Mornings are busy. We're here to make your mornings better. We report the stories that affect you.
3 more hospital lies from contaminated apple juice just a day after the FDA issued a recall.
We're here to make your mornings better.
Closing east and westbound lanes of K96 for repairs.
With 12 News, you're prepared for your whole day.
Scattered thunderstorms across the state into the afternoon.
Stay a step ahead with 12 News this morning on KWCH and KSCW.
Sports Daily is on KFH. And now, digging deeper with the teams you follow, it's another Sports Daily Insider interview on KFH.
And we welcome you back in. Shreyas Laddha joins us, KU Insider, KU beat writer for the KC Star. You can follow him on X at SHRE98. Shreyas, happy Hawaiian Shirt Wednesday. KU basketball is where we'll begin because fresh on the mind of everybody at the moment, we're hearing things here this morning like load management for the future NBA guy, all of these things. If this was Duke, does Darren Peterson play yesterday?
What a loaded question to ask me at 8:39 in the morning. I don't think so. For what it's worth, not to call out Coach Self here, I had heard about this issue on Monday afternoon, and I was told it wasn't a big deal, but it was an issue, like the hamstring thing. So it might be something that had kind of popped up before, and Kansas being cautious. I don't think this is load management. I think this is a mix of maybe he's not 100%. Yeah, he could have probably pushed if it was March, but let's be cautious rather than not.
If that's the case, Shreyas, I think that just brings up the next question of, he's missed an exhibition game with cramps. He had to come out of a game with cramps, and now he's missing a game because of a hamstring in the third game of his college career. Like, is there something to be worried about?
Well, that's the question, I think, why, if you watch the post-game interview with Bill Self, it didn't really seem like he was naturally answering the question. There was a lot of and Bill does that at times, but it feels like there's a little bit of a how do I say this? A reason to protect himself and Kansas basketball. And I don't want to speculate too much on this, but you don't want to come off, and nobody wants the label injury prone or anything like that. And I think it's very important that Darren, his camp, Self, Kansas, they all know that. I don't think it's a big deal that he missed a game because of a hamstring thing, and the cramp thing is whatever. But I also don't think it matters right now. We're in November. If this is a forthcoming issue in March, we can have that discussion.
So let's look then from all of your interactions, what you see, what you hear. Is there any reason to think this is not a physical problem, but like a attitude or entitlement or some of that other stuff? Because that's going to be coming too. I have never heard any of that with Darren Peterson. In fact, I've heard the exact opposite.
Absolutely not. Everything I've heard about Darren has been great from everybody involved. I just talked to his coach recently. He said he was his favorite player he's ever coached. And he coached DeBonza, Tyron Stokes, a bunch of guys who are top end prospect. And he said he was the best player he's ever coached, which isn't, this is a high school coach at Prolific Prep, but which isn't, small praise. Everything about Darren Peterson from everyone around him and everything I've gotten to know in, the short time he's been at Kansas, he's an exemplary young man, and he's somebody that Kansas fans should be very, very lucky is representing the university. He's not like a lot of one and dones. I mean, a few weeks ago, I wrote that story about him recruiting guys in the 25, 26, 27 class way after he leaves. Think about how many guys would do that. There's not a lot. He clearly cares a lot about the game. He's working so hard. I've heard his work ethic is insane. And he's pretty even keeled. He's not like, he is competitive and he has that edge against guys he plays against, but he's not on the edge of like using everything as fuel. Like, Caleb Wilson pointed out, I remember that. And I thought that was very cool. I think it's great when players have a little grudge against each other, whatever, right? Darren Peterson is not that type of player. He might have an edge, but he's not going to come out and be like, this guy let me only shoot 4 shots in McDonald's All-American game, and I remembered it, so I made it my profile picture or whatever. So everything about Darren, there's nothing whatsoever, I think, to be worried about his attitude or anything like that. He's very coachable. He's well-liked from the locker room, well-liked by the coaches. I think Kansas got a special player in Darren.
Yeah, it feels like by all accounts of what we've learned throughout this issue from last night is the fact of like Bill Self knew about it, KU knew about it. It really wasn't a thing. But then if he played and he did get hurt, then it would be like, well, why did you play him if you knew that this was a thing? And I think it's a lot more of covering your tail than anything else, of not wanting to risk anything against Corpus Christi. No disrespect to the Islanders, best mascot in college basketball. It's awesome. But I think that it leads into the conversation that we've been having all off season and all season so far is, when he's not out there, what does it look like? And I think that was a good opportunity last night to see that. Kind of what were your takeaways from the rest of the Jayhawks?
Yeah, I think the offense was a lot more fluid than it was against Fort Hays State. They looked a lot more comfortable. Guys stepped up. They had 4 different guys in double-digit scoring. I mean, this is an Islanders team that played SMU tough, right? Like, there was no reason to believe that Kansas was going to go out and win by 25-plus points. I mean, the spread was, 22.5 or 23 or something like that?
Even 27 or something.
27, but the fact that Kansas covered it is not a small feat. And I came away really impressed with Cole Rosario. I mean, everyone joked about it. He shaved his mustache, powers unlocked or whatever. I had a lead about how he wasn't sporting his signature mustache or whatever. But, you can see why the coaching staff is so hyped on him. His teammates are so high on him. I mean, he just kind of took over in the first half when Kansas needed a guy. In the second half, a lot of other people stepped up. Tiller continued his good play. Flory, I think, was okay, not bad. And then, there was Trey White, who was also in double-digit scoring. But I came away pretty impressed with Tiller and Cole. Those are 2 guys I feel like are X factors for this Kansas team. Their development is something that is to be monitored. And I'm at the point where I think, if Tiller keeps playing the way he plays, I would think about starting him.
Why wouldn't you start anybody that doesn't look like what is other than Flory Badunga and probably I would say we hope Cole Rosario along with Peterson? Why would Bill Self and this coaching staff be tethered to any idea at this point?
No, I completely agree. I mean, I think Trey White is good. I think the ceiling of what Tiller offers is better. And it's clear that he plays true to size as he could play the 4, right? He grabbed 8 rebounds yesterday. Bill has been talking and begging basically his bigs in public media requests. Like, they played soft. They need to play true to size. He says that multiple times. Well, Tiller is doing that as of late. And this is a guy that, he hasn't played a lot of ball, like basketball in months, right? Like, this is just him kind of knocking off the rust, knocking off the cobwebs, and he looks special. I can't wait to see his development by January because I feel like that's the month all these guys really start becoming the stars of the team. Because we saw it with Furphy, we saw it with Grady, et cetera. But I think he's going to be a special player for them. And I think, Bill said he was the 3rd starter. I'm at the point where, if he keeps putting up what he's doing on the bench, why not start him over Trey White, besides the fact that Trey White is older and he probably promised him XYZ when he decided to come to Kansas?
Yeah, I think that the thing about it that we brought up earlier is that, he was kind of the role that he's in, at least for these past 3 games, is that he was going to be the guy that was going to come in when Flory went to the bench. And that was what his role was. And I think that whenever you play that well, I think it makes eyebrows raised about like, well, why didn't Flory score 20 and get 10 rebounds tonight? So, well, Bryson Tiller was in half the game and he kind of, took half that load. So is there a world where they can both play on the court at the same time? I think that, starts to bring up the questions about, Hunter Dickinson and KJ Adams on the court at the same time. What does that look like?
I mean, yeah, absolutely, right? Bryson Tiller can shoot. Hunter Dickinson can't shoot. Like, let's just call it what it is. I mean, Bill Self said he was surprised that Tiller's shooting this well. I mean, yes, I'm surprised too because he's been scorching hot. But, like Hunter Dickinson giving a 1.5 threes a game to Kansas is not enough to be able to play him at the wing spot and say, hey, Hunter Dickinson's best attribute was, post dump offs, post moves, all that. I think Flory's pretty solid in the post, but I don't think he's particularly has like amazing post moves. Most of his stuff is just like a baby hook, a little bit of using his body and his athleticism to kind of get into good positions, which testament to him. I think I'd argue Bryson probably can play multiple positions. I mean, you talked about playing the 3. He can play the 3, he can play the 4. And I don't feel like the spacing is disrupted by Bryson Tiller playing on this team.
Let's go to football real quick, Shreyas. Bummer. They didn't get it. Are they going to get it? Are they going to get to 6? That was right there for them.
I was at a wedding for that game, but I went back and rewatched it. I think the best way to summarize the Lance Leipold era is watch that game. Unfortunately, another Kansas loss in a typical fashion of lack of aggression or bad clock management or whatever you want to call it. I think they'll get it, mostly because I think Kansas has owned Iowa State over the years. And I don't think this Iowa State team is very good, per se. It's always difficult to win on the road. But I think Kansas gets it, and then they lose to Utah. I don't think the bowl game can be very good. And to be quite honest with you, I really selfishly wish they had won a little more, so I'm not spending my Christmas in Shreveport, Louisiana, covering a team that barely made a bowl game. I don't know. It's just been disappointing this year. I feel like there's been so many opportunities for this Kansas team to be at least a 7-8 win team, and I feel like they're just stuck in this purgatory of 5 and 6 wins the last 2 years with talented players. And let's call it what it is. I don't think they're going to have a quarterback, no matter who was out there tomorrow or next year, as good as Jalen Daniels was played this year. He hasn't looked as good lately, but he's had a special season overall.
Yeah, it's interesting. I saw the stat the other day of the triangle of the Big 12 right now, where K-State has won 17 straight against KU. KU has won 3 straight against Iowa State, and Iowa State has won 3 straight against K-State. It's just chaos. Nobody understands that. It's so weird, and I feel like the point that I brought up after that game was the Cincinnati game. In the post game, Lance Leipold said something along the lines of like, you can say that's what it is, but it's a completely new team and completely new coaches. It's not the same things. When it happens twice in the same year, after it happened 9 times, 10 times, it felt like the year before, there's a trip.
Yeah, no, 100%, right? Like at a certain point, you just have to stop. Like you have to buck the trend. And what does that mean? Okay, well, do something you won't naturally do. Go for 4th downs. Like I don't. To me, the explanation of okay, Jalen Daniels can't come back. That's completely fine. But you've been averaging like 9 yards a carry, and Isaiah Marshall and Cole Ballard. Might as well try one of them. I'd rather go out swinging than go out like that.
All right, Shreyas, go find his work at the KC Star. Let's talk again next week. Enjoy the football bye, and it's basketball season. Here we go.
Princeton.
Yes. Princeton coming up. We didn't get your scout on Princeton. You'll have to find that at the KC Star. We'll be right back.